Okay, let's start our class again. Okay, let me share the screen. Oops, wrong. Okay, let's start with big data, but from very simple perspective. Okay, let me see if I can read your chat. Where's your chat? Okay, okay, now I can read your chat, but I cannot. Okay, I cannot I cannot detach the this thing. Okay. Anyway, okay. This is the class. Sorry. So big data. If we from simple angle, from simple point of view, you can see big data as advertisement. Advertisement is the simplest one. For example, we can check Shopee. For example, Shopee. Okay. We can check Shopee. We can check Tokopedia. What else? What else do we have? Shopee, Tokopedia, and there are lots of platform, including Facebook, Google, and so on. Facebook. Okay. Oops. Okay. This is different. Okay, I use President University account, so I cannot log into my Facebook. Anyway, same here. Wow. Okay, because I cannot log into to these things using your. Anyway, if we use this platform live, they make money from advertisement. Okay, so this is the advertisement, this advertisement, and so on. Okay, now the questions for this advertisement, please type it in the chat box. Okay, when we log in to one of this platform, can be Shopee, can be Tokopedia, can be Facebook, can be many other platform. The question is very simple: is the advertisement for everyone the same or different? So the ads for everyone log into the system, is it the same or different? You can type it in your chat box. No? Okay, still eating your dinner. Okay, I guess everybody's still eating their dinner. Okay, so if we check the chatbots, okay, okay, check what's the advertisement, we can see clearly every single one of you will receive most likely different advertisement. Okay, why? Uh, Let me see if anyone different. I think right, correct. So it's different. The problem is how can this platform what the decision base, what the best the foundation, the foundation when they have to decide this particular guy will receive this kind of advertisement. What is the best basis the for this kind of decision? Okay, anyone knows how can they decide? I will receive this kind of advertisement, other will receive different advertisement. What's the decision based on? Okay, no, search input, that's one, right? It can be, so basically the history. When you search, they collect, they archive what you are searching. So searching input, and when you buy something, they will make history what kind of things you buy. So basically they will where they will monitoring what we are doing in their platform. Okay, so this is, so basically they are doing some intelligence intel. They will do some intel to our activity. So they see what we are doing, and based on what we are doing, what we search, what we buy, what we look at, then they decide what kind of ads they will send to us. Okay, so that's basically profiling. Okay, that's actually in data science. It's called classification. So they will classify us the based on our behavior, based on our needs, based on our wish, something like that. So they will classify us, and then based on their classification, they will provide the advertisement. That's the platform. That's not that difficult. Let me see different thing. Remove this one, remove this one. Okay, we will move to Google Maps. So every single platform is the same basically. Okay, so the data science, the knowledge, the way of thinking is not much different from one and another. So now I move to Google Maps. Let me see if I can activate the traffic here. Okay. Square pins are ads. Interesting. So they are making money. That's good. So this one adds tofu Singapore. This is it. So this is how they make money. Okay. Anyway, so we can see this. Okay. You can see the condition of the traffic in Jakarta now, today, right now. Okay. I think everybody knows that if it is green, the traffic is very smooth, no traffic jam, everything quick and no problem. That's green. If it is yellow, that's the speed is reduced. If it is red, it's very, very slow traffic, especially if it is dark red like this. That's very slow. Okay, so we can see clearly the slow traffic is on that direction. The other way is very, very okay, no traffic jam and so on. Okay, so the problem is, the question is like this: how Google knows where the traffic jam is? What kind of sensor used by Google uh, to identify the traffic jam in Jakarta or in everywhere in the world? How can Google identify the traffic jam? Let me see if I can see your questions in chatbots. By counting how much smartphone device on the street. Exactly. So basically, the phone is reporting their location to Google. I hope it's okay for you. This is actually an intrusion to our privacy, but when we use the Android, at the beginning of the usage, we normally allow some sort of privacy non-disclosure agreement, something like that lah. Okay, so we allow Google to do some intelligence to our phone. So based on that, Google knows where our phone is, and they can collect the location of this phone, including their speed and so on. And then they can decide which street is green, which street is yellow, which street is red. This is classification. Now, oops, I clicked something. Okay. In the past, but now I think Google, I guess so many people complain to Google, but in the past, we can do some sort of forecasting using Google Map, for example. But I think these days, Google disabled this ability. Okay, I guess because so many people actually upset because they are monitoring our activity. Okay. Now, to do the forecasting, we can do something like this. For example, we want to go from Tangerang. Okay. Direction from Tangerang City to Jakarta. So these are two different neighboring city, from Tangerang to Jakarta. So the suggestion is, this is using motorcycle. I use car. Okay. See this? This is the traffic condition. Okay. If Google allow the Google Map to do some forecasting, we can do something like this. This is leave now. So this is the condition now. Okay. If we change into depart at, okay, if we can change depart at, this is still now. If we move into, see this, the what's that, the traffic jam, the location of traffic jam, but I think Google is disabling this ability now, so maybe I can change it to Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's gone. In the past, we can see the traffic jam for tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So we can see the traffic jam, but now they remove that kind of ability. But that's interesting. So we can tell which part of the road will be traffic jam tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is not happening yet, and that's called forecasting. So forecasting, basically, we can see something is not happening, but the application can do some prediction on what will happen tomorrow or 2 days from now. Okay, so that's actually forecasting. Google disable this thing now. So this day they disable. I don't know, maybe somebody upset or something. Okay, so basically we can see that. Okay, but we can still see the suggestion of the route for tomorrow, but we cannot see the traffic jam. So that's forecasting. The problem is, how can Google do the forecasting? Okay, so basically Google do regression of their history. So they collect the data from every single one of us that use Android and allow the phone to report to Google. So in addition to classification of the traffic, we can also do some forecasting of the traffic. Forecasting, it means it's not happening yet, but we can sort of guessing what will happen tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. The traffic looks like what. Okay, to see that Google is actually monitoring our activity, we can click this menu here at the left, top left, right, top left, right, top left menu. We can click top left menu and we can click your timeline. So basically we can see that Google actually monitoring our activity from the year. Oh, I cannot click yet. Still downloading. Okay. Oops. Okay. So I'm login using President University account. There is no timeline recorded using my President University account. I have to use different account, but that means I have this. I will disconnect all of you. Basically, Google will monitoring our activity from the year 2009 until today, which is what 15, 16 years. Okay, monitoring your activity, our activity. Based on that information, then we can predict. Okay, if it is, you can try yourself. We can click every single day here. This is Wednesday, 28 March, May. This is what 18 May. We can see where our phone is that day. Okay, but there is none here because my phone is not using the President University account, so there is no phone here. Okay, delete the day. Okay, no problem. Okay, so basically, but it's fun if you see that history. Okay, so far no questions. Okay, so basically that's how the big data is. The problem with the big data, let me see the course. Wrong. Where is my course? Here, this one. So the problem with big data is the if the format is any format, we are in big problem. We are in big trouble because it's more difficult to analyze data with any format. So normally, if we want to analyze things, it's easier if we use a certain format. Okay. The problem with the data today, as at least in Indonesia, yes, we have a lot of data. For example, we have this website here, data.go.id. Okay, this is the Indonesian government websites that collect all the data from many government and the Indonesian government agency. We can check their data here. Okay, the problem is let me see if I can check. For example, let me see if I. For example, we want to check about what education. Let me see if I can. So they basically collect the data from 70 ministries, 31 province, and 272 cities or municipal. Okay. I will check for data on, okay. This is, what is miskin in English? This is the have at those who don't have the data for those who don't have in this province. This is Middle Java, and we will check the people that don't have, they are not good enough economically. Okay, so this only for one municipal. We can download the file here. Let me see if I can. Oh, I have to request the data. Can I? Okay. So it's very difficult to get the data. We need to request and so on. Okay. When we manage to get the data, sometimes the data is not processable. Okay, because the data is very limited basically. Oops. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me see if I can download something. Ah, okay, this is downloadable. Okay. Let me see if I can read this one. So, okay. So we can see this kind of data here. Okay, let me see. I can view, zoom, 200. Okay. So we can see the data something like this. Okay. Now, imagine you are a data scientist. Okay. You see this kind of data. The problem is, okay, how can we do classification? How can we do forecasting using this snapshot? If I give you the answer, it's impossible. So basically the data we have in the Bapenas is the body for the Indonesian government planning body. Okay, so they have this kind of data, which is, I have to say frankly, we cannot do anything using this data. Okay, this data only comparing the number of student, primary school, middle school, high school, vocational school in different provinces. But that's it. We cannot do anything about it. Okay, so we need more elaborate data if we do something, if we do classification, if we want to do forecasting and so on. So based on this data, it's difficult to do things. Many of the data from the Indonesian government is like this. So we are stuck basically because the data is something like this. Okay, let me see if I can download other things. So this is the data.go.id. Ideally, all of the ministry, all of the government body, all of the provinces and so on, they submit their data here. The problem is the data they are submitting to this website is the summary. If we want to do some forecasting or classification, we need something more elaborate than summary. So that's the problem. So to give you some idea what kind of data we need, maybe better we check the data set. One of the website that carry lots of data set is Kaggle. Okay, it's in the this one. See this data set. So one of the website that carry good data set is, did I say Kaggle? Where is Kaggle? I think I put it somewhere here. Okay, here dataset URL. So Kaggle is one of them. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay, this is Kaggle here. Okay, so Kaggle is one of them. There are a lot of things here, lots of model for large language model, cybersecurity, and so on. So this is one of the example, Kaggle. Okay, it has a lot of data set. So what I'm trying to propose here to you guys is try to examine the data from the government and the data in Kaggle. It's totally different. For example, for what is miskin in English, translate. Okay, poor. Okay, miskin is poor, right? Okay. Poor. Village. Is there any poor village? Okay, home price prediction, hosting data, Host price. Okay, maybe this is related. Ground level quality and so on. So we need to poor is too general. So we need to put something, I don't know, economic, poor economic. Maybe the correct keyword is economic, economic data. So we can download something like this. Then exposure indicator inflation. So when we download this kind of data, but some of this data is quite big actually. Oh, this is only 7 kilobyte. This is 1 megabyte. Maybe I can download this one. India socioeconomic. Let me see. Okay, this is the one. Oh, this is example. See this? We have okay. This is I think the area. What else do you have? See this? Total population, percentage, population, growth rate, and so on. So we have a lot more data rather than poor only. So we need to provide more. We have 800 column, lot of data here. Okay, so we have 800 columns, so we can analyze a lot of things here. See, we can compare to this one, to the data here. Nothing, basically. This is what happened if the government official, they don't understand how to analyze data. The data they provide to public is something like this. And then we are having problem to analyze. So the first thing you need to learn is see what kind of data they share. So this is one of the data. The other institution in Indonesia, at least, that may be of interest is the sorry, wrong, pps.go.id. This is the Indonesian National Statistical Bureau, and hopefully they have much more what's that, better data than the data.go.id. Okay, when I download, their data is quite much better than the data.go.id. So this is our major what's that, our major data source. If we do something, this is our major data source. But if you have your own activity, your own work, we can always generate our own data actually. So if you do your research for your final, I would suggest to do it using your own activity or your work. It's much better, it's much more easier than relying on other people or other party sources, because in other sources maybe it's very limited, and we sometimes don't know how they collect their data and so on, so it's more difficult. Okay, so this is one of the problem when we do those things. So playing around with data science, big data, and so on, our major problem will be how to get your data. That's the biggest problem. Okay. Okay. Now, if I can also show you something. This is the data I get from. Let me see. You can download my data from here actually. You can type s.id, free OWP ebooks. Okay. There is a folder called Orange. Okay, Orange. This is the example of data for this course actually. So all the data of this course is here. Okay, you can play around with this one. One of them is you don't have permission to view. I don't know. Okay, let me see. Okay, This is the sample for Bekasi City. Bekasi City is the next city, the adjacent city from Jakarta. Where is my Google Map? Okay. So this is Tangerang, this is Bekasi City, this is Jakarta. Okay, so Bekasi is over here. Okay, now, so this one, sample for Bekasi City on small medium enterprises. So this is the good example of data. The Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, they actually collecting how many? 30 something million small medium enterprises data. Okay, and the data is something like this: province, municipal, and so on. This is the what's that? Their money, their investment, and then this is the status of the owner. This is the education level. This is the scale of the industry, which is micro industry. This is not small. This is micro industry. This is the investment, 1 million rupiah, 1 billion rupiah, and so on. Now, this one is method how to do marketings. Most of them actually non-digital. There are some with e-commerce and digital. And when we ask, are they using technology? Most of them actually manual for micro. And then the other important things is the income. This is the income. So they have investment, they have income. Okay, now when you see, so this is the actually one of the example of real data. So real data is something like this. The problem is when you face this kind of data, then we normally overwhelm with the amount of data, information in the data. So most of the time it's very difficult to summarize, to get something from the data. If the data is so much, we are overwhelmed and we are having difficulty to get the data, to get the knowledge from the data, to get information from the data. So that's our problem. Okay. Now, to solve that kind of problem, then we need to use machine to analyze this data. To be honest, I give workshop at the ministry level, at the ministry, the director general, so that kind of level. Okay, my mind, when I give workshop to these guys, I always thought these guys need the tool to do prediction. Okay, and then I realized that most of these guys don't have the knowledge or tools to do prediction. So when they predict, they don't see these things actually. They only see how much money the government want to allocate for their program. How to use the money, they don't know, because they never analyze the data. So basically, they cannot predict how. Let me see if I can do some mind mapping. So I use Miro. Continue with email from Presiden University. So Miro is mind mapping tools online on the web, and we can visualize our thought using graphics. Let me see if I can do some drawings here. Okay, remove this one. Okay, now, for example, we have a data like this. Okay, Yeah, data. Yeah. Okay. Now, based on the data, if we look at the data, uh, tabular data like this with lot of column, it's difficult to what's that? To get the ID what the insight of the data. Okay, so that's our big problem to get the insight why this happened, why this guy have only like 2 million rupiah income. How come this one 10 million? How come this one is 1 million? So they are having difficulty to predict these things. It doesn't make sense when we read line per line. So we need machine to analyze all of them. Okay. One of the example, after I do the machine analysis, machine learning to this file, and then I realized that basically there are 4 different types of small medium enterprise. So there are 4 basically. Okay. Okay. By the way, this kind of thought never. So the people at the ministry, they never what? They never have this kind of thought before. Okay. Basically, what they are trying to do is collect as many data as precise as possible, and that's it. Okay. Then they don't realize that based on this data, they can actually do something more than that. Okay, they can see the industry. It's in a much better view. Okay, for example, in this case, in the small medium enterprise data, basically after do the machine learning, I realized that there is at least 4 classification of this small medium enterprises. This is micro enterprises only basically. So when I asked this guy at the ministry level, can I get some of your data? They have 30 million data right now. They only give me 1,000. That's it. So they say, okay, oh no, this is 1,000. We will not give you more than that. So I receive only 1,000. They have 200 column, and I get only what 20 something column. See, that's it. A to U. So what 20 something column out of 200. So they have 200 column. I receive 20 something, and then oops, this is spam basically. Okay, so 20 I from 200 column I receive 20, from 30 million data I receive 10,000. Fine, I work with 1,000. Then I analyze using orange this 1,000, and I found that at least there is 4 classification. Okay, 2 classification for big investment, and 2 classification for small investment. Okay, each classification, big investment and small investment, it will split into high income and low income. Okay, now when I see the big investment, most their income are high income. So if the person, the organization, the small medium enterprises, they receive, if they are good, they do their job perfect, they do their job correctly, they have big investment, the income will be big as well. Big investment, big income. Nothing to do with education level, nothing to do with technology, nothing to do with marketing and so on. Basically, if you have big investment, the income is big as well. Okay, not many small income with big investment. Basically, big money will get you big money as well. That's it. So that is not very interesting because it's the same whether you are primary school graduate, middle school graduate, high school graduate, or even university graduate, even a master degree graduate. If you have big money, you will receive big money. That's it. Okay, so that's not interesting. The most interesting one is if you have small investment, it splits into two. One, small investment, small income. Small investment, big income. So that's interesting. Okay. If we have small investment and big income, that will be interesting. Small investment, small income, normal. Okay. When I look into it, okay, more deep into it, then you can see the difference between uh, primary school graduate, second middle school graduate, high school graduate, and university graduate. Most of the so small investment, small income mostly are primary school, middle school, high school graduate. So these three are small investment, small income, mostly. But if they have some education, university level education, then when we have small income, we have small investment, the income can be higher, sometimes very high. So the university level may have small investment but high income. That's interesting. That's big difference between primary school, middle school, high school, and the university. The way these people can generate money is different. Okay, and this based on statistics. Okay, so the statistically, those who receive university education will likely gain more money than those who have no university education. That's what I found. The other interesting things I found. This one. Uh, See this? University, they use e-commerce. The primary school, high school, they don't use e-commerce. Some of the high school, they use e-commerce. But for uh, primary school, middle school, they are more difficult for digital marketing and technology. So the more education you receive, the more sophisticated you are, the more money you can get. So that's the key actually. And this kind of what's that summary fail. So the ministry failed to see these things. Okay, I only received 1,000, and I managed to summarize this thing using 1,000 data. Of course, it's not uh, correct completely, because I have only 1,000 data, but at least I can see roughly, okay, that's the important, the highlight that we need to address. Then I talked to the guy at the ministry level. I told them, hey guys, you understand what this data means. Then I tell them about those things. Okay. My suggestion to them is you need to talk to the Ministry of Education. We need to force the Ministry of Education to open their mind basically, or their program, so every single one in Indonesia should be able to get as high knowledge or as high degree as possible. If not, that then the micro enterprise, the small medium enterprise will be having difficulty to grow. Okay, so knowledge is everything actually. What I found here. So that's what the example. When we analyze something like this, then we can see a lot of things actually. but you need to have this kind of data here. We have a lot of data here. Okay, it's different than the data that we have from this one. Sorry, well, this one, the one data.go.id is different. So the data in data.go.id is sort of useless to do the analysis. We need maybe the statistical bureau data may be much better than the data here. So I'm really hoping someone can talk to these guys that we need something like this, and then we need to what to teach these people how to do classification, how to do forecasting. Now, the forecasting thing is like something like this. Okay, from the data we get from the ministry or the small medium enterprises, then we can analyze. Basically, we can get model. Okay, one example of the model I tell you before is about the was that the how the behavior of small investment, the business behavior, small investment, big investment, low income, high income, and so on. So that kind of model we can grab from this data. So basically, having the data, then we can have model here. Okay. Now, having the model, then we can do a lot of things. For example, if we have another data here, so I have to remove this one. Delete. Okay. Okay, so from the data, we can get model. Now, having the model, if we have another data, for example, this is the second data. Oops, wrong. We have different data. Okay, data number 2. We can fit the data number 2 to the model. So normally we can do some prediction or something, or classification. So basically we can have prediction or class tools. Okay, so we can fit the model to the prediction classification tool as well as the other data. So it may be different data. This is data number 1, this is data number 2. From data number 1, we can get the model. Okay, the model and data number 2 we fit into the prediction or classification tools. Then we can predict from here. For example, this is what I normally do. Okay, for example, like this. Okay, here. Okay, so for example, from this data, so we know that this is the investment, the amount of investment we have, and this is the level of education, and then this one is the income. So based on this, basically the computer can create a model if the education level is only high school, middle school, primary school, university graduate, and we have this kind of money investment, then the income will likely something like this. So we can correlate between the investment, the education, and the income. Now, we can create another file. Okay, this is for forecasting. For example, uh, we want to increase the education level, one level higher for every single one of them. Then we can, using the model we have, then we can predict how much income then this company will get if we increase the education level. Increasing the education levels for so many people, it means budget. From the government point of view, that's their program, how to increase the education level. That relates to the budget they have to allocate in their program. Okay, so from budget point of view, we have several options. The first one, for example, we increase the education level. The other option is, for example, we can teach how to do the marketing, either online or manual. Okay, if we want all of them to learn marketing, online marketing, then we can estimate how many small medium enterprises we need to educate, and that's correlate to the budget we have to allocate. Okay, at the end of the day, the government have to decide, okay, I have only like this amount of budget, so the budget is limited, this much budget, and we have so many several options for our program. One of the option, for example, we can increase the education level. The other option, maybe we can teach how to do digital marketing. The other option, the other way, maybe we can teach how to use technology. For each option, we have to calculate how much budget we need. And then we need to predict, okay, how much income this company will receive. So based on that, then we need to decide, okay, for example, if we allocate our budget to educating digital marketing, then this many company will receive some increase in their income. If we educate in the use of technology, this many company will increase their income. So basically, we need to maximize. We have limited amount of budget, but we need to maximize the impact. How many company will be better off? Okay, so that's how to do forecasting in the government level. Okay, but unfortunately, not many. That's also the same thing with the private sector. Basically, we have the data, then we need to maximize the income. Basically, in the company, the private sector, very similar. But in the government level, their approach is more like social science, like an like an angel. We need to do good deeds for how many people, and how many people will receive their income better. So we need to calculate those things. So that kind of sense is missing basically. Okay. Let me give you, how many minutes do I have? Okay, let me give you about the model here. Let me see if there's any question first. Any questions so far? Okay, no questions. Okay, now I need to give you some idea about the model. About the model here. Okay, sorry. So the model here and the prediction data and so on. Okay, this is more difficult. Okay, let me see if I can do much simpler ways. Okay. Okay, I will try to explain in much simpler than that. I use high school math. Oh, sorry. If you see my computer desktop, this is not Windows. This is Linux. So I use Linux most of the time. I hardly use Windows myself. Very open source, very Linux guy. And then I also teach operating system. In my operating system class, okay, Yin is raising hand. Okay, please open your mic, say your questions.
Teacher, can I get the data about the atmosphere
Okay.
or like earthquake or some industry data from the website you show to us?
Oh, this Kegel, you mean?
Kego or Sadu, the data Sadu. That
Oh, data satu. Okay, this one. This
yes,
one. Okay, huh?
mining industry, including like mining data or some like industry data from that website.
Okay. Yes. That also, yes, you can use those things. Yes. Is that
Thank you.
okay?
That's all.
Yes. So you can use those things, the data from the website, data from the industry. For example, for industry, something like this. Okay, let me see if I can check the what is lobster. What is udang in English? For example, my brain is rusty, so sometimes I'm having difficulty to not udang is
Shrimp, sir.
squid. Squid is shrimp, right?
Shrimp.
Okay, shrimp.
Shrimp.
Okay. For example, shrimp, kolam. Yeah. Uh, yeah. In Indonesia, tambak udang. So I don't know what in English. So this is an example of data we are playing around in the shrimp pool like this. Okay, so in shrimp pool like this, we actually use Internet of Things, IoT. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I have. Okay. Okay, this is one of the thing. This is the one of the equipment. This is one of the equipment. So they desperately need IoT, internet, basically a sensor. So they install sensor in many shrimp pool. Why? Because they invest billion of rupiah in shrimp pool, and that's lots of money. They don't want the shrimp dead. So to make sure the environment is okay, then they install these things. They use AI, machine learning, based on the data they receive from the. So the algorithm is not simple if then. The algorithm is based on AI. So basically, they use AI from the data they collect from the sensor. Then they can AI can sort of decide, okay, for example, right now this pool is need more oxygen. For example, the pool is the pH level of the pool is too high or too low. So they use AI for these things. Okay. So this is one of the example. Industrial. Okay. So it's not only websites, it can be industry. To be honest, in Indonesia, a lot of shrimp industry they use AI right now because they don't want to lose money. So for them, they rather spend a couple of million rupiah to run this sensor rather than they lose their billion stream. Okay, so that's example. Okay, so it's not only website, e-commerce site, or platform. All these things also use AI. Okay, now I will give you this is sample example. I use high school equation to do these things. Okay, actually, if we look at AI, data science, machine learning, they actually solving this kind of equation. This is the equation they are solving. AX plus B is equal to Y. Okay. I know many of you, sometimes many of you, I ask many times in many classes when I ask my students, what kind of equation is this? AX plus B is equal to Y. Because you're the you're the long time ago do your high school math, so many of you actually forgot what kind of equation is this. So I have to tell you, this is linear equation. This is not quadratic, not parabolic. This is linear equation. Very simple. This equation used by AI actually. So AI actually solving this kind of equation. Okay. To give you some idea about my statement, I will show you neural network. Okay, neural network. This is the diagram of neural network. For example, they analyze this graphics. It's the figure is 3, and they analyze the pixel, and they have several neuron here, and they decide, okay, this is 3. So basically, they have several neuron and so on, and based on the connection and so on, then they can decide what is this in front of them. Okay, what what the linear equation have something to do with neural network like this. Let me show you like this. So okay, before I continue, okay, we need to examine closely. So the how the data passing from one neuron to another is something like this. So basically, one neuron will pass the data to the other neuron and so on. Okay, what it has something to do with linear equation, ax plus b equal to y. So basically, the neural network solving this kind of equation here. Okay, let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay, okay, okay. So this actually a linear equation. Okay, let me show you a little bit. This is y. This y here is actually this y here. So same y. This is x times w. Okay, so x times w is this one. A times x is x times w is equal to y. So this is, but here we have a lot of x1, x2, x3, x4, and so on until xn, and we have not w. Yeah, but yeah, this is w, w1, w2, and wn. Okay, so basically we have a lot of x, and we have w, and we sum of them. We sum up of all of them and it's equal to y with activation function. So activation function is this one, b, basically. Okay, now but the activation function is not normal. Not normal. It's not normal numbers. It can be many things. Basically, we are looking at this kind of equation, but the x is a lot of x, so we have a1 x1, we have a2 x2, we have a3 x3. So we are facing this kind of equation, and then we have the output here. So basically, the neural network is solving this linear equation, but then it will solve the equation in several stages. Okay, a lot of stages. See, where is it? So it will solve in matrix like this, and we solve a lot of stages like this. Okay, so that's the basic idea in neural network. It's basically linear. It's basically solving linear equation. In the real world, the data is not linear. The data, most of the data is not linear. But if we use like exponential, if we use parabolic equation, if we use complex equation, it's more difficult to solve. So to make the algorithm easier to solve, then we use linear equation. So that's the basic idea why we use linear equation rather than more complex equation. But we have to understand that this approach is trying to simplify the real world problem. Okay, otherwise we are having difficult to solve. So rather than making the equation complicated, we make the world problem simpler. But then we are facing problem because the solution of this equation may not be right. So the solution may be wrong. So we have to understand that. So the solution provided by machine learning, AI, deep learning, and so on may be wrong. They are not 100% correct. So we have to understand that. Okay. Okay. So it's not correct. Let me see if I can describe to you. For example, like this. Okay. So for example, we have this kind of equation. Okay. Then we can do some training to the equation. If, for example, I'm train the equation. If x1, y will be 7. Is if x2, y is 8. If x3, y is 9. Okay. So we have this kind of training data. So this is the equation. Ax plus b is equal to y. That's the equation, linear equation. This one is the training data. So I put the training data like this. So when we playing around with data science, big data, machine learning, deep learning, and so on, then we always hear data training data, and so on, test data, and so on. So these are the training data. So training data is very simple. In this case, because I have only one variable x, one variable y, then the training data is simple like this. Okay, for example, x is 1, y is 7, x is 2, y is 8, x3, 1, 9. Now, our objective when we do these things, let me show you this one. Okay, so this is the data, and we are trying to model the data. In our case, in this case, the model is this one. How much is A? How much is B? So A and B is model. So our objective from training data, we are trying to get the model. Now the question for you, okay, please type in the chat box. If we have this training data, x1, y7, x2, y8, x3, y9. How much A? How much B? What is A? What is B? A and B is model. Okay, please type it in the chat box. This is high school problem. Okay. I know all of you has passed high school, so I know all of you should be able to answer these questions. Let me see if somebody already answered the questions. Nope. No one answered the question. Very difficult questions, eh? Because we are late at night. No one can answer these questions. It is very easy. Okay. Let me answer. Let me check again. No, 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 no. Wow. Okay, interesting. Very difficult for you. Okay, let me see. Let me show you how to calculate this thing. This is high school problem. For example, I use the first training data. Oh, no, no, the second training data. Second training data. So we have this equation. 2A plus B equal to 8. This is from this one. Okay, 2A plus B equal to 8. Okay, from this one, from the first training data, we have A plus B equal to 7. Okay. So, the first line, divide by, not divide, subtract by the second line, then we have A, B minus B is gone, 2A minus A is A, B is gone, so A is equal to 1. Knowing A equals to 1, that means B is equal 7 minus 1. So B is equal 6. This is the model. Okay. Of course, in machine learning, in deep learning, in AI, we are not solving this. We are not using this way to solve A and B. Okay. So in AI, we are using, for example, linear regression. We are using many algorithms to find A and B, to find the model. Okay. For example, if we get the model A is 1, B is 6. So knowing the model, then we can do forecasting. For example, let me see if someone can answer this question. X is 10. How much is Y? Okay. If X is 10, how much is Y? We know the model now. A is 1, B is 6. Let me see. 16. Yes. Fakih. Yeah, you are correct. So 16. Okay. So this is called, so sorry. Okay. So this is called forecasting. We are forecasting because 10 is not part of 1, 2, 3. So this one is forecasting. So this is training data. This is model. This is forecasting. This is what AI means. So artificial intelligence basically solving this kind of equation. AX plus B is equal to Y. We need to fit the AI using data. And based on the data, it get the model. Having the model, then it can do forecasting or classification or any other things. So basically, it highly depends on the data. If there is no data, we are in big problem. So we are in trouble if there is no data. So the key in AI, machine learning and so on, is the data. That's why all platform, Google, Facebook, any platform will try to get as many data as they possible because they want to be able to predict correctly. So that's the key actually. Okay, now I will change the data. For example, the data. I'm not using numbers. This one is numbers, so I will not using numbers. For example, the food is good. X. The X is sentence. The food is good. And Y is 1. Okay. For example, he is a bad guy. Y is 0. And then, for example, I will type something like this. The car is very what? Very modern. 1. Okay. So we have this is the training data. If we have this kind of training data, the food is good. Y is 1. He is a bad guy. 0. The car is very modern. 1. Okay. Now, I have another sentence. For example, I am very, very sick. So this is, we are trying to classify right now. This is a classification problem. So we have different type of sentence, and I want to ask, what is the Y value for I am very, very sick? Okay, can you type in, can you guess? Type it in the chat. 0, correct. For those of you who is confused, so I'm not asking you what's the model. I'm asking what the value of Y, because I am asking A and B, we will be confused. But basically, this is positive sentence, this is negative sentence, this is positive sentence, this is negative sentence. So negative sentence is 0, as simple as that. So this is classification problem. Why X can be anything. It can be numbers, it can be sentence, string, it can be graphics, it can be video, and so on. Okay. Audio, video, multimedia, and so on. So it can be anything. So X can be anything. In this kind of model, we can have as many X as you like. So X can be many. Y is normally 1. And that's it. Okay. Okay. So hopefully this gives you some idea about AI and machine learning. Okay. Okay, so I have how many minutes more? I think around 10 minutes or so. Okay. Okay, now I will, let me see. Okay. I think, oh, we are, because we only have around 10 minutes or so, we are having fun now. I'm not trying to force you to learn like heavy stuff. I'm trying having fun. So basically, we have discussed, where is the class? This one? Back. Oh no, where is my class? No? Where is my class? Okay, I have to open again. So basically, we have discussed big data. Okay. We have discussed big data. A little bit of, oops, not this one. I have to check using this one, the open course one. So big data, little bit on data science, data set. Okay. Now we are trying to having fun. I tried to give you some idea how to write books, how to do your writing your journal for your finals. Okay, with help of AI. Okay, for those who can read Indonesian language, actually you can find it here, s.id. Because right now I'm only helping President University to teach. I am not the official lecturer from President University. I'm basically helping, but I teach at Institute Technology in Tangerang Selatan, formally. Now, if you want to learn how to write books, let me see, where is it? I need this one. Okay. For those who need to learn how to use AI to write books, to write paper journal using AI, you can read these books. Okay. For those who cannot read Bahasa Indonesia, you can translate to English, but actually the idea is very simple. Okay, so for example, because your objective is writing journal paper, okay, what I'm trying to suggest is try to use ChatGPT, and I normally use three simultaneously. ChatGPT, I use Grok, and I use Gemini. Okay, I use three of them. But this will be difficult. To write paper journal will be difficult if you don't have any uh, measurement results or research results. So the first things you need to do is do your research and get the results. So basically, the AI is helping to write the paper, helping to write, but not doing the actual research. So we need to do the actual research first, then ask AI to help to write the paper journal. Okay. For example, this is example. For example, we do the research and we analyze the platform and so on, and we find. Let me see if I can find something interesting. Uh, 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 Graphical uh, 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 let me see. Uh, no, I want to do something, not this one. Uh, no, I want the actual graphic. No. Okay, I need this one. This one. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we have temperature and pH. Okay, so we have this kind of research result. For example, copy image. Okay, so we have this kind of research results. Better if we have the actual data. So we have, for example, we have a data. We can analyze the posting in Twitter, media, social media, and so on, or we can analyze the product in our website and so on. Then we can have the data. For example, we have this kind of data. Okay, then we want to do the journal paper based on this data. So what we can do after having this data, we can do something like this. Paste the data here. Okay, right? Description on the above measurement data. So we ask AI to write something about the okay. Okay, I have to paste again. Right. Description on the above measurement data. It doesn't, it's unable to do these things. Okay, let me see if I can do using my own research paper. Okay, let me see. Okay, this one. Okay, this is one research paper that's more difficult. Let me see if I can get something simpler than that. Okay. Where is my journal paper? How come it's gone? I can download from the internet actually. Why it's gone? Okay. s.id. Okay. So I download my own paper. Okay. Okay, this one. Where is this? Okay, this. Oops, need this one. Okay. This is actually my paper. It's published 2019. So what? 6 years ago. And then this is the results and so on. Okay, now one example is this one. This is this figure. Let me see if I can download here. Okay. 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 Let me see if I can grab this one. Okay. Okay. This is the overview of the system we are working on to monitor the presidential election the other day. This is 2019, so 6 years ago. So I grab this one and then I put it here. Where is it? This one. Please make a description of the above Oops, I think we have problem with the ChatGPT. Let me do this one. Make description of the above figure. Okay, so what we need to do, we can do the research, get the results, and we can ask the ChatGPT or the other AI platform to do the description. Then we read their results and we can adjust to make it more suitable for our journal paper. For example, I grab this one. Okay. Okay. Now let me see if I can write something. Google Drive, new Google Docs. So when I write journal paper, I normally start with results. Result. Okay, so this is the description, and we can get the description from our research activity, from the result of our research activity. And then where is this guy? Okay, let me take again. Okay, so this is the result of research results, and this is the description. And then if we want to, if we have several others results, we can ask the AI to write it for us. But of course, we cannot rely 100% on AI. We have to read this wording, make sure that it described correctly. Okay, so we can upload the pictures, we can upload file Excel or whatever, and we can describe this thing. So the next thing, what of course during describing the result, we can describe the method used for these things. For example, in this case, we use internet, we use chat platform, we use anything. Okay, for example, these two. Okay? And then we can ask the AI to elaborate. Okay, please elaborate this statement. Okay, so I think ChatGPT has problem. Okay, let me use Gemini. This is not Gemini. There's Google. So we can put this one. Okay. See this? We can elaborate. We can have much better writings. Of course, we need to read again, and we need to adjust what the AI is saying to our needs. Okay. Based on these things, then okay, I copy paste to here. So we have this one, these two. Based on these things, then we can make summary. Okay, please summarize the research and highlight on our findings. Okay. So this is the summary of the research. Okay. Okay, that's it. Oops. This is the key finding. At least it get 3 key findings. Okay, then we can put it here, the summary. Okay. Having the summary, then what I normally do after this, I write the abstract. So introduction is later. I normally write abstract from here, this one. So what I normally do will, where is it? This one. Sorry. Where is the Gemini? This one is the text. So I will ask Gemini, what is create 200 words abstract from these writings. So we can do something simple like this. So having this is actually takes about 2-3 days. We can finish our paper. That's it. Okay. This is method. This is the abstract. But don't rely heavily on AI because we have to. If you read my books, then I describe that we need to put a lot of effort to create a good prompt to generate these things. Okay. Okay, so this is, so in few minutes we have abstract, we have method, we have results, we have summary, and we can also ask AI to write the introduction and do some comparison with other research results. And finally, after all finished, then the last one, the last thing to do is create the title. So I can ask AI, what is the best title? Please provide option for the best title for the following right things. Okay, that's it. So this is the example of the title. Then we can choose which one is the best titles. Okay, that's it. Then you can finish your journal paper and you can finish your master degree in few hours. Okay, but I have to tell you, the first thing you have to do is do your research, get the data. Without data, it's impossible to write the paper, journal. Okay, sometimes we can get the data from Kaggle and so on, data set, but it's not. I personally will do my own research to get the data. So most of my paper is not from Kaggle. I looking for the data. I do research and get the data. Then based on that, then it's easier for you to write the paper. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? No questions. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me see. How is my... Oh, I cannot see my schedule. Okay. Hopefully next week is okay. Hopefully. Today, actually, I'm dead. I have to meet the minister this afternoon, so I'm very tired actually. So next week, 17, hopefully okay. No, nothing on my side. So really, hopefully we can meet again next week. Thank you very much. See you.
Excuse me, how about our attendance, Mr.?
Uh, uh, Personally,
Mm,
I don't care actually.
okay, thank you.
So I don't care. So I assume all of you will attend my class for me. Okay. But don't do that to Professor Wiranto. You need to attend seriously on his class. On my class, I will record everything and then I will upload to YouTube. You can always see my recording in YouTube. So attendance is, for me, it's okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, if you have any questions, just send me email. That's it. Thank you. See you next week.